Hey everybody, this is just a quick little training video for setting up a small PA or DJ system here. This is also I'm going to be using to demonstrate on how we would set up certain situations for conventions and breakout rooms and panel rooms and so on and so forth. I'm going to try and keep it pretty simple as I can. If you have any questions or maybe don't understand something that I have said, please feel free to leave it in the comments or shoot me a private message, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible and help you understand it as best as I possibly can. But this is a pretty straightforward setup, really. So the biggest thing is, and there are certain things that I won't be able to show you because I'm in my little workshop and quite limited on space, as you can see. Let's start with the smallest setup, which would be, maybe just one of these little speakers for a panel room that just needs a microphone or just needs a phone or iPod hookup, for music. We'll start with that. It's very simplistic. Now, the certain speakers will differ, but they're generally going to be the same as far as, I'm using a full powered system for FaneCon and the conventions I run. Now, it may not be these specific powered speakers, but it will be powered speakers that we'll be using for these small setups. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate. Now, let's say for a very simple setup, right? So this guy right here is a Alto TS212. This is the bottom of this. It's the same thing. There's two of the same speakers. So just to show you, here's the pole mount right here, and basically you'll just take one of these little tripod stands over here. Very simple. Spread the legs. Make sure the base is wider than the actual speaker itself for best stability. And then basically all you do is slip this on the pole, on the end of the pole, and then you can raise the pole up. There's holes, and this is just on my not all speaker stands have the locking holes, but mine do. So where once you raise the pole up, there's holes, slip the pin in, and then let it rest on the coupler, and then just tighten it down. Otherwise, other speaker stands, you just raise it up to where you need it, tighten it down. Now, as far as height, for the question of how tall do I need the speaker to be, a good rule of thumb is, for me, make the horn go over your head. So it should be over 6 feet. Preferably the whole speaker basically be over your head, but at least the very top part right here needs to be over 6 feet. So, if you bring the mid-range woofer or the bottom, let's say the bottom half of the speaker, eye level, that's pretty good. But generally I'll have the bottom of the speaker at least 6 feet up, because that way, instead of blasting everybody else out that's right next to the speaker, it goes over everybody's heads. Now, that being said, if it's in a panel room where everybody's sitting down, not such a big deal. Just, elevate it to a nice level. It's not very, it doesn't have to be perfect or any means, as long as it's within capable reach and not blasting somebody out. Just use your basic common sense for that. Now, on these speakers, again, not all speakers will have this, but on these speakers right here, I've got a tightening knob. So once you get it on the speaker stand, get the speaker stand raised, and get it pointed right in the direction you want, then you just tighten this knob down, and it'll tighten down on the pole. Make sure it doesn't swivel or move or jiggle or anything. It makes it very tight. Now, let's say you've got your speaker already up on a speaker stand, and got it tightened down, got it pointed in the right direction you want it to. Now I'll start hooking it up. First thing you need to do is plug in the power. Now, your power is going to be one of these guys right here. It's just your basic IEC power cable. You'll see it for speakers, for lights, for, you'll recognize it for computers or something even. Just find the power port that, that looks like it'll fit. Just plug it right in there, just like that. Plug the other end to a power outlet or extension cable or whatever. But now, make sure when you're running these cables too, I need to point this out, all your cables, if you can, tuck them in under the speaker loosely. Don't pull on the connections on the spec of the speaker here. But I usually will have Velcro ties or something. So just take those cables, take a Velcro strap, and wrap it around the cables to the speaker stand that the speaker's standing on, just so it's a lot tighter, not just hanging out loosey goosey. It looks a little bit nicer. Now once you have power plugged in, and the next thing to do, let's say you're going to hook up for an iPod, okay? So most of my speakers will have, especially like these, they're going to have, they'll usually have combo jacks. Now these are a combination of XLR and 1/4 inches, as you can see there. So you can plug in either a microphone cable or a 1/4 inch cable. So what we will have for this is one of these guys right here. This is your basic 1/8 inch, or if you want to, put in basic terminology, your headphone jack or auxiliary jack, and then you have 2 single 1/4 inch cables. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 1/4 inch ends like this, and we will poke them in one in each input. Now this does not matter which side goes into which input on for one speaker, because it's going to be mixed no matter what down to the one speaker. I would say a good place to put it would probably be the volume knobs right here above each channel. For a general small panel room, I would say right about where they are would be more than enough, which is about, what'd you call that, 9 o'clock. So basically just pointing straight to the left, I mean. But if you need a little louder, you can make it a little louder, but make sure you adjust both of them to where they're exactly the same, so we have even distribution on each side. This just goes into your basic headphone jack to your phone, your iPod, your computer, whatever it is you're going to use. Now let's say you're going to use one of these speakers for just a microphone setup, okay? So the basic idea is you have what's called an XLR cable, and our layman's term, a microphone cable. Looks like this on one end, and then of course you have the male end on the other. And this is basically all you have to do. So I'm not going to bother unwrapping it, but just take your male end, and you're going to go and just choose a channel, and you're going to go in there. And then what you're going to do with this end is you're going to take your standard run-of-the-mill microphone. This is a old PVI 100, I believe. And then so you can see there's the male end. So all you're going to do, it's hard to do one-handed here. And also, if you'll notice now, there pretty much every XLR cable is going to have this notch, as you can see right there. Now make sure that lines up here, and of course, make sure that the holes line up with the prongs in here. But it's just an extra insurance to make sure you don't accidentally twist or anything. And then just push it in until you hear that lock. You see that clip's locked in there. And then just turn your speaker on. And then for your volume, you might want to, bring it up a little bit more. The basic thing is have, start at 0, have somebody talk into it, and then bring it up to where it's at an appropriate volume level. So when you're going directly into the speaker, and that's basically the way to do it. Just put it where it's not too loud, and then just an appropriate volume level, and then leave it there, and then you can leave it running at that point. And then make sure that if the microphone, especially if you're not getting any sound, make sure the microphone, see if it has a on-off switch. If it does, that's probably where you're not getting sound. Just flip it to on, then you probably get sound, and then you can switch it off. Now, and then to go back and undo this, just simply push down on this pin and pull out, just like that. Just make sure you push down that pin. Now, oftentimes too, this speaker does not have it, but a lot of times on certain speakers and certain hardware, when you're going to unplug the other end of the XLR cable, there will be a button at the top or bottom, depending on how you're looking at it, or the side. Just look for a button that says push or something that right there, and you're going to push on it and then pull like that, and then that will release your microphone cable.